Hello and welcome! Tonight on the show, we get yakky about Soyaki soy sauce and a derivative, I guess you would call it. It's a no-soy sauce. Wrap your mind around that. And finally, we have a very special guest here. We're so excited to have him, and we're so excited to have you here. This is Sauce Spoken.
And we're back. We are Sauce Spoken. We're the podcast detailing your favorite sauces, dips, and condiments. My name's Adam, and I'll be your host this week. And I'm joined here by my co-host, Tori.
Oh, guten Tag, Frau. I think I may have used that gimmick before, but oh well. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you anyway. To my right, as usual, he's the second strongest man in Pittsburgh. Our good friend, E. Say hi, E.
Hi, Tori.
Yeah?
I think it might be slightly off bases there.
Well, I don't know. But what I do know for sure is the strongest guy in Pittsburgh is to his right, a good friend of mine, and my personal trainer, would believe it or not, Ryan Selly. Welcome to the show, Ryan. We're happy to have you.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, Ryan. And you're actually the owner of a local gym, actually the gym that Tori goes to, which is how you guys met.
That's right.
And I was hoping that you would, talk a little bit about that, give that a little bit of a plug, and also go into, if you would, kind of like any history you have with sauces specifically or anything like that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, my wife and I own Selly's Fitness Center. Right now we're on the north side on Spring Garden Avenue. We were over in Lawrenceville for about 13 years, and we moved over there 2018. Start to lose track of my time here. Time flying by fast.
When you're having fun.
All this stuff going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ended up over on the north side, which I'm from Bridgeville in the South Hills. So, not my area. So always a little scary going, to an area you're not real familiar with.
Yeah.
But as Tori could tell you, I think that location's working out really well.
It's nice.
Yeah, we have parking and it's easy to get to, and we can got people from up north coming in. Where, when we were on the other side of the river in Lawrenceville, we didn't get so much from the people up north.
Huh. So, when you say up north, what do you mean?
Wexford, Cranberry.
Okay.
Up that way.
I guess that could be, crossing the rivers. We've talked about that before for non-Pittsburgh natives. Crossing the rivers is
That's a serious thing.
Big no-no.
I didn't know it was that big of a deal until we
deal.
Found where we were going to head to and wanted to keep our clientele, and a lot of them didn't want to cross over. It's a mile and a half away,
just
but
the bridge.
The bridge, they didn't want to come over that way. They wanted to stay on that side. So
sometimes with the traffic, that can be a little bit of a doozy. We've discussed that a little bit before on the podcast, and probably people from outside of Pittsburgh, that might sound a little silly. Like you said, sometimes something's only a mile away, but it may take you 15, 20 minutes to get there. So
that's true. And then the other thing is that Rialto Street scares everybody away.
Yeah.
And you do not have to go Rialto Street to get to our place, even though every Google Maps and Waze and
always
every
sends you there.
GPS thing will make you have to turn up that hill. It makes it seem like there's no other way. Even when you pass it, it's telling you to turn around and go back up Rialto.
Right. Yeah.
And so when people see that, I've had people say, I don't think I'm going to make it there. and it turns out they're afraid of Rialto.
Yep.
Wow.
I know, not being a Pittsburgh local, one of the things I always thought was really important was finding other routes, finding different ways to get to other places. And it was really, because it's helpful, one, because of traffic, and two, just because of, some of the streets in Pittsburgh are just crazy. I'll take it this Rialto. I'm not totally familiar with it.
You know it.
Yeah,
sure.
Right. They call it Pig Hill.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, that is an interesting point, and probably for the non-Pittsburgh natives, that sounds a little strange, but two things Pittsburgh is known for. A, the bridges. I think everyone's familiar with the bridges and the rivers. But actually, a lesser-known fact is that Pittsburgh has two of the steepest roads in the continental United States. It has number one in the continental United States. There is one steeper in Hawaii. And also, I think number 8 or something like that, which is the one that we're talking about, Rialto, which it honestly is much more intimidating than the steeper one, because the steeper one is much shorter, and Rialto is very narrow and very long and very steep. And I think we've all had, every Pittsburgher who's lived here, at least in that rough neighborhood, has had stories about Rialto at one point or another.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And I love taking out-of-towners there because they always panic.
Yeah. And then I have a Silverado truck, so that's
not
wide.
Yeah.
And if there's another truck going the opposite direction, you really there's nowhere to go.
Yeah,
really.
you can't.
You try to turn in your side mirror and hug the curb as tight as you can.
I know last time I was there, they actually had made it even narrower and closed, I think it was only one way because they were repaving the stairs there. So,
okay.
A very interesting experience that, like I said, any out-of-towner is usually quite alarmed by.
It's neat that you brought up the stairs, Adam, because I'm pretty sure I can fact check myself. Yeah, but we are the city with the most steps.
Yeah, I think that's
of all of
another
our
thing.
sidewalks.
The city steps.
They had a lot of steps built into the sides of hills for like the old steel workers to walk down and get to their jobs. So that was the same thing with the inclines that people may have heard of, which, contrary to what it sounds like, is actually kind of like an enclosed escalator on a hill, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, that's a good way to call it.
Trolley car.
Like a little caboose of them almost. Yeah.
Like an enclosed ski lift, but runs on rails? Or, no, is it on rails?
It's cable driven on rails. I think so,
cable on rails. Okay. Cool. And we haven't got a lot of good Pittsburgh talking lately, so I'm glad we're touching on that again. But as far as it goes with, like, do you have any history with, like, sauces or things like that in general that you want to elaborate on?
No, I wouldn't say I have too much history with sauces. I mean, being a former bodybuilder and in the fitness world, you know, our food's pretty plain normally. So you got like,
fair.
Like we cook our chicken pretty plain, but then I'll use sauces to mix it up. So we'll make a batch of chicken. We have this one, some kind of spice we use on it. They're like basically salt, pepper, and some kind of spice, like a paprika.
Okay.
Nice. That's his language.
I love paprika.
And then that way, if we want to make it into, you know, barbecue chicken, I put barbecue sauce on it. If I want to put wing sauce on it, I'll put wing sauce on it. So,
what about on a cheat day? What are you eating on a cheat day?
No cheat days, Tori.
Yeah,
cheat days. Yeah, what's a cheat day? You know, right now I eat anything. I mean, I have like my standard like menu that I try to keep up with just to not get too out of shape. It's a lot of chicken and rice and eggs and oatmeal.
Yeah.
Steak. So sometimes like a cheat meal to me is like a filet, and, you know, and maybe like some scalloped potatoes or a baked potato, and then maybe like a pint of ice cream.
Wowee.
You know,
Cool.
Like, that to me is like a cheat meal.
Okay.
Just not too big on junk food. Never really was. But I have stuff. I have a fast metabolism, so I can get away with eating a lot of bad stuff.
A lot of junk.
Not good.
You do tend to have a faster metabolism when you're the owner of a gym and you're working out constantly. That does tend to help with that.
It's more like the more muscle mass somebody has, the more calories they burn at a resting state.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, very, very astute.
I guess that's why I burn 0 calories on a regular basis.
No, that's not true. You've been getting out a little bit more. We got your bike moving. The wheels turn now. We know that for a fact.
They're inflated.
I keep trying to find ways to only go downhill, though.
Right. Well, no, that's not true because we had to walk up the hill to go down it.
Oh.
I know you and I were talking a little bit before the show. We both have some Italian heritage. Did Grandma make any special sauces or anything? Any special red sauce?
The best tomato spaghetti sauce for sure.
Very good. Very good.
I figured there's a story.
And it can't be replicated, so I'm out of luck now. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, even if they give you the exact ingredients, it doesn't work out to taste the same.
Grandma wasn't measuring nothing. That's for certain.
Yeah,
right.
Nope.
You can count that out.
Pinch of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her spaghetti sauce was the best.
There's a pretty big generational gap between my grandparents and my parents, and then also between my parents and me. So most of my grandparents were dead by the time I was, old enough to really have a good memory. And my grandpa kicked around for a while, but he didn't really cook. So I didn't really get any of those interesting recipes like that. But I do like to cook, and I like to think that I've made some recipes like a bolognese or stuff like that would do them proud, but never really know. With all that being said,
I vouch for you.
Really.
That makes a difference.
We've had your cooking. You're a good cook, Adam.
That's true. Thanks. I was fishing for that.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, please,
you
guys.
reeled us in. You did it.
But doing all that talking initially here about sauces up front, I want to move on to a new segment of the show.
Oh boy.
Which is not really a new segment. It's just a renaming of the old segment because previously to this, we've always done kind of a roundtable discussion, and I've just called it the roundtable discussion. But if you'll refer to version 2.0 of your outline, you'll see that the roundtable has a new header name, which I don't know how we've made it to 50 episodes so far, our 50th episode, and this thought never occurred to me. But now it's time to catch up with the boys.
Oh, wow. Nice. Wowee.
Very punny.
Eric, how was your week this week?
My week's been really good. Well, we had a holiday. We had, Labor Day, so it's been a shorter week. But because of that, work's been trying to cram all that they can out of us in the last few days here of the week. So the work week has been very busy. But it was nice to go home. I was with family. I got to see my aunts from San Diego. You were talking about your grandmother's making the best spaghetti sauce. My mom made some garden fresh stewed tomatoes basically. She added carrots and onion and whole, all these just really nice garden fresh vegetables inside it, and then she gave me a quart of that to take home and continue to cook it with other meals.
Age?
No, actually, I put I did almost a little sauce rewind here. I did a little bit of I'm drawing a blank here.
Use your words.
The mild Belizean barbacoa.
Excuse you, I mean Belizean.
Yeah, it's Belizean
barbacoa.
Belizean barbacoa. It was impressive. I put about a tablespoon onto a generous large bowl and mixed it in. It has a nice kick to it. I almost had to pause.
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 Like a
kitty cat.
Yeah.
Almost had to pause. Tori, what about you this week? Anything of note?
I had a marvelous Labor Day weekend. I thought this Labor Day weekend was perfect. And I'll tell you why. Because Saturday was sunny outside. So that gave you every right and every reason to go out and mow the grass and trim hedges and do all that good stuff. So that was perfect. The next day was raining. So you could lay around on your ass all day.
Yep.
And feel
guilt-free.
Yeah, guilt-free, dude. And then Monday rolls around, you got a day off. So if you want to have a couple beers on Sunday night, have at it, bro.
And it was a nice Monday, too.
Yeah, and it was gorgeous.
It's funny you should mention that, because I had that exact same thought. Because like I said, I sat around on my ass on Sunday, and it's like, hey, I got a perfect excuse.
I busted my balls the day before. I don't feel bad about it.
Exactly.
That's
exactly my experience, too.
I guess I dodged the rain. It was beautiful all 3 days there in Ohio.
Yeah, Saturday
how rare to say.
we got...
But you were in Ohio, so trade-offs,
Trade-offs, right.
And how about Ryan's week?
Yeah, my week was great, and I feel the same way about the Monday thing. Monday was beautiful. We had my family over, my mom and dad and sister and brother-in-law, and hung out at the pool. And yeah, it was great.
Fabulous.
Perfect weather, 75 and sunny.
Perfect. Yeah, I am happy it finally stopped coming down from the 90s. That was okay with me.
I'm a little cold right now, but I'll survive.
In here? In the Nerd Palace?
Generally. When it gets below 75, I start getting cold.
The Nerd Palace is heated by waifu pillows and burning board games.
Burning board games, yes.
The friction from the waifu pillows.
Oh, wow. Terrible, Adam.
Ryan, you probably don't know what a waifu pillow is, do you?
I don't.
You're better off.
Yeah, you're better off.
Well,
right.
Maybe we'll pull one up for you later on the Googly machine. Maybe not. But no, I wanted to...
Adam's the one who had to introduce us all to what the heck they were, so, it's his thing.
You know. You've seen them on Kickstarter, Eric. You've ordered some on Kickstarter.
Oh, my goodness.
But no, I wanted to mention for the listeners, like I said, we went a little bit into the future, but we recently recorded, as we mentioned before, on Pods Like Us, a show with our friend Marv on it. And, he's actually released 2 episodes for us now. He released the regular show, which was it was pretty long for us. It was about an hour and a half. And then he also released a little bonus material today, too. So definitely for listeners, if you like kind of hearing us and you want to get a little bit more of a peek behind the curtains, he goes into, we're a little bit more serious, we're a little more toned down on his show. And you get a little bit more of insight to kind of behind the scenes and the origins of Soft Spoken. But the other thing I was thinking of for my week, Eric, is you were talking about your mom, kind of making all this big sauce and preserving it and all that. And I recently made a batch of pickles, as I'm wont to do in the fall. And it was weird because I couldn't find the pickles that I normally use from Giant Eagle. And I had to go to Aldi's instead. And I know we've talked about our love for that before. And I know personally, I did find some pickles that were suitable for that in addition to some other things. And I was just thinking about how much I love Aldi's. And what are your thoughts on that, Eric? Do you like that store?
Yeah, I like Aldi's, but I'm confused on the pickles. You're buying cucumbers, little mini cucumbers, like the little English ones to make pickles
No, I buy pickles and I pour them out of that jar and I put them in my own jar and I put my name on them.
Put your name on them.
Yeah,
that's what it sounded like.
No, I bought cucumbers. Okay. I was looking for cucumbers specifically.
Alrighty, that's what I figured you were meaning, but I wasn't quite tracking you.
But what's your favorite thing from Aldi's, would you say? I know they've got lots of good party stuff like meats and cheeses and stuff.
My favorite thing from Aldi's. It's quinoa, of course.
Of course.
It's the quinoa, mixes, those ancient grain salads, of course. What?
Have you ever tried a taste of Aldi's nuts?
Oh, how did you not see that coming?
I gave you so many chances, Eric.
That was like a train.
Because he's a child.
How did you miss that? It's not his fault you missed it.
Got him.
Oh, that was too easy.
That was from Eric pulling the got him on me from the corn dogs. I finally got him back.
Nice.
Aldi's nuts.
Devilish.
Oh, boy. Well, with all D's being said, let's go ahead and move on to the sauces. And Eric, you actually picked these up for us this week, and I don't have a good segue, but these were actually some kind of plays off of suggestions that Ryan had for things to taste. But since you purchased this, do you want to go ahead and lead us in with those there, Eric, what we're looking at?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So I went to a Giant Eagle Market District, which Giant Eagle's a local-ish grocery chain. It's in quite a few states. I remember a funny story. My one cousin's daughter was visiting from Michigan, and I guess they didn't have them up there, so she was like, what's that store? That Giant Blackbird? Like
Giant Blackbird?
Giant Blackbird. Yeah, no, we knew what you meant, so.
It is funny. My dad and I both independently started calling that store Big Bird.
The Big Bird, yeah, right.
Our sense of humor, so.
And Tori's a local and grew up with Giant Eagle and always called a bird Big Bird.
Giant, J-I-A-N.
Oh, that's right.
I-G-G-L-E. John Niggle. John Niggle.
Yeah, John Niggle, as we've previously referenced. But without further ado, tell us the sauces, Eric.
Yeah, we went to Giant Niggle with the sauce
and I ended up with a Soyaki sauce, which is made by their own Market District brand, which is why I wanted to make sure I said where it was coming from. And then I found this really goofy one.
Wait, it's not Soyaki, is it? Soyaki.
Soyaki. My bad.
Soyaki. Soyaki would be with rice wine in it.
With rice wine, yeah. It'd be a lot more enjoyable, probably.
You could try soyaki in these nuts.
So, yeah, soyaki.
My.
Which is obviously a blend of soy and teriyaki. My usual plan is just to ignore them as long as possible. Power through. And then, again, I came across this really weird sauce because I was looking for soy sauce. Instead, the first thing I came across was this soy-free sauce.
You said, how can I get the most opposite thing that our guest requested? The thing that specifically is not that.
It had just such a wacky name, and I just thought, you know what, I got to try this wacky.
Oh, this has a wacky name to match my wacky personality.
And it's by Ocean's Halo, which...
Was this from Market District as well?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
And it's organic.
And
very nice.
Perfect. Well, speaking of that, let's split those off here. We can do a little visual description. Give the soyaki to Tori, and he can lead us off with a visual description. And maybe Ryan wants to take a little whack at a visual description for the other one. Then.
Hell yeah! All right. Well, here we have Soyaki, courtesy of the Market District at Giant Eagle. It's a bottle that I don't know. You could maybe make the resemblance like maybe an old school beer bottle, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess for lack of a better thing you could compare that to, maybe, you know. But yeah, so there we have a glass bottle. It has a black lid. The label around it is green. It almost looks as if someone splashed something right in the middle of this label, almost like a Jackson Pollock painting. There's a big splatter mark all over it. It says Soyaki sauce. Made with soy sauce, sesame seeds, garlic, and ginger. We have a nice little ginger caricature there, maybe a little onion caricature, maybe a shallot. As we turn the label around, of course, the nutrition facts are there, boring ingredients. I can't see any of that. And then we have a barcode. So there you have it.
And what are the digits under the barcode?
Oh, heck.
I'm kidding.
I know.
Take your glasses off.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, you want to take a whack at doing a little visual description of your sauce bottle there?
All right, so I'm here looking at this soy-free sauce. It's made by Ocean's Halo. It's also in a glass bottle. Real similar to any other soy sauce bottle, but I'd say that the top's bigger. It's wide open when you open that lid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can pour it
the
right
other one
out.
has like the little dabber.
Restrictor,
Yeah.
So that's not on this one. It has that wave look going on with the logos.
Sort of beachy almost.
Yeah, strange, right? And
I think sushi when I see that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're after. Like an Ocean's Halo, like fish type of thing.
That makes sense.
You're onto something.
USDA organic. Swim against the tide is written on here. So we were right about the wave.
Makes sense.
And it's just a red and black label, pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty plain. Not a lot going on there.
But it's all about saying it's gluten free.
Huh?
Gluten free ingredients.
Does soy sauce normally have gluten in it? That's what I can't remember.
Yeah, man.
Probably not.
Doesn't sound right.
Yeah,
no.
like it doesn't.
I think so.
I think they just put that on everything now.
Yeah, we were talking about that on a more recent episode where it was kind of like, they're just throwing that on everything. And I don't mind it if it's on something that you could conceivably have gluten, but when they put it on like gluten-free water, like, you think, I would hope so,
Gluten-free steak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, congratulations.
Exactly. Well, we were trying what was it? Oh, it was a barbecue sauce that said it was gluten-free. And I'm like, I was not suspicious there was gluten to begin with. By you saying that makes me suspicious about it.
On the other hand, if someone tries selling me like a pancake mix or something, and it's gluten-free, that to me is a huge warning sign.
that it's going to be bad.
That's going to be horrible. Yeah. Stay away.
I always was under that similar impression, but there is one gentleman that I work with, and his wife makes a lot of gluten-free stuff. I'm not sure if she has celiac or he does, but they make a lot of gluten-free stuff, and honestly, it's just as good as the regular stuff. I think the key is like knowing what you're doing, and I think you can make it perfectly. I think the part of the thing is don't try to mimic something that already exists perfectly. Play to its strengths. I think that's the key.
Yeah. This also says a certified vegan.
Oh,
okay.
Neat. A lot of stuff going on there. And I think that these both have black seals on the outside.
Correct.
They both had black shrink wrap. Yeah.
Interesting.
So the double sealed there on the top of them.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I may be wrong. Trust me.
Okay.
But soy sauce, it comes from has like a fish base, right?
No, I think it's from soybeans.
Am I thinking of something else?
You're thinking of Worcestershire sauce.
Okay, that's the gross with the with the fish,
fermented
fish.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I got my signals crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. Worcestershire really? Absolutely is made from.
Did not know that.
We haven't gone into this yet. I want to do a Worcestershire sauce episode at some point, but it's really interesting. I think there is soy in Worcestershire, but they take like anchovies and like brine them and ferment them, and they mix them in with like soy and let that all kind of ferment like this big goopy thing. There's a couple other wacky ass things in there. It's fun to watch a YouTube video on, and then they just squeeze all that shit out of there, and the brown goop that comes out is Worcestershire sauce.
Wow.
Goes great on a steak.
Oh, I love it on steak.
Sure does. It's tasty sauce.
How do you arrive at something like that?
By mistake.
Yeah, like, I got a million of these fish. I'm just going to throw a bunch of shit in this barrel and squeeze it.
Anything like that. Yeah, exactly. Anything like that was just left and forgotten about, and someone was desperate enough to come back and try it, or stupid enough. They got their dumb brother. They got the slow brother to come over and try some, and he's like, oh, it's not half bad. And they're like, okay.
Let's try it on some steak.
Yeah, he didn't die yet.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, someone like me probably. I'm willing to try anything once.
Or someone tried it as a prank on someone. The Worcestershire, definitely, the origins of that could definitely have been a prank. But without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the inside of the sauces of the bottle that we're looking at there. All right, Eric, you want to lead us off with the soy sucky sauce there? Visual description?
Yeah, the soyaki.
Yes.
We have ourselves
You're twirling it around.
Yeah, not
like a magic 8-ball.
Entirely.
What is it telling you?
It's pretty runny. It's almost like soy sauce runniness, but there's a globby, like gelatinous
chunks in it.
Chunks in it. Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. I think it's probably, I would guess, maybe the ginger,
sesame seeds, dude,
and sesame seeds. Oh, there's definitely sesame seeds, but I think there's something else. Maybe it's just the sesame seeds, just all swollen up there in the liquid.
You know what it looks like to me, just from across the table here, and I don't know, probably not you, Ryan, but maybe the rest of you guys. Have you ever had a McRib?
Oh, I've had a couple of McRibs in my day.
You like to partake?
I've never had a McRib.
Oh,
somehow it doesn't surprise me. That's okay.
They're so shitty and so good at the same time. They're like the epitome of what McDonald's is, but
that's why they don't have them on the menu all the time.
I know, and well, because people would not order them if they were always an option.
They would be relegated to filet of fish status.
I love filet of fish.
Me too.
I'm a straight up say I always get filet of fish. But one thing I want to say is that globbiness is like, to me, the chunks I'm seeing in there look like the fake rehydrated onions that they mixed in with the barbecue sauce for the McRibs.
Oh,
and I can tell you this very well because I know the last time they had the McRib out, I made it my personal mission to see how many McRibs I could eat in a limited time frame.
Oh,
wow.
So
it's been years. It's been years since I've had McRib, so I'll just go with
worth it.
Your analysis there.
It took years off your life. I mean, I'm short my life 20 years.
Your GI tract is still MFing you up and down.
Absolutely, it was lubed it's lubed up. It's got its oil change for the next decade.
That was the joke on Labor Day as we were cooking hot dogs. Every hot dog 70 minutes off your life, according to some study.
70?
70 minutes.
That's a lot.
I don't know about that either.
I'm sure. Who makes these crazy studies?
Who does these? I've eaten so many hot dogs. The last time we had hot dogs, I joked that I was going to eat. One of the last times we had chili cheese dogs, I ate 7 hot dogs. And this past time we had them, I did not eat 7. I only ate 4.
Oh.
But
yeah, you were quite the letdown at the party there.
I know. I made up for it with McDonald's that weekend. I had my typical McDonald's order, which is a Big Mac, a filet of fish sandwich, a spicy chicken sandwich, a 20-piece McNugget.
Holy criminy.
I'm trying to think what else I had. That might have been it. Oh, 2 root beers, I think.
Oh, that's all.
2 root beers. They were canned, not the giant ones they give you there.
Oh, yeah.
They were petite little root beers, okay. Only 180 calories per can.
How'd you feel after eating that?
Terrible. I woke up the next day and first of all, I couldn't sleep because I was too full. And then I woke up the next day and I was resolving, I'm like, fuck, I need to lose some weight. I can't keep doing this to myself. Yeah.
All right. Last thing I was going to note is just the color of this, which has an interesting, slightly brown, reddish hue to it. Which
McRib barbecue sauce color.
McRib barbecue sauce color. Sure. I don't know. I like it. I think it's
a pleasing color.
Yeah.
It's got kind of like that charming, like golden hue to it, and it's like semi-transparent. It looks like something that would be expensive, but it's not.
It's like a glaze.
In fact, it was actually like a glaze. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're pointing to it, Eric. Do you want to go ahead and do the no soy too? Here, give me the no soy. I haven't done a sauce description in a while.
There you go. Get in there.
Button up your ears, boys, because you're about to hear a wild one. Well, there's not really a lot to say to this. It looks just like soy sauce. It kind of has that, like we were saying, like amber hue to it if you slosh on the side of the bottle. One thing of note that I'm seeing in there is it looks like there's a couple little fine flecks that are sticking to the side of the bottle. You see that?
Oh, wow.
So it's almost like there's a little, an indescribably light chunk to it. Well, I didn't notice that at all. I didn't notice any grittiness, like the Lee Kum Key. I didn't notice that at all.
No,
definitely not.
But, I mean, other than that, visually, I don't know if you'd be able to tell us. It may be slightly paler in color, but it's the same viscosity, definitely. But other than that, I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference here from soy sauce. Now, you guys notice anything different in the cups or in the jar here?
I feel like it looks more watery.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to slightly more watery.
A little bit, but I don't know if it's because of its slightly lighter color also, maybe?
See, I always think that soy sauce is always like, super runny like this. So maybe that's, but I don't know. Yeah, it could be right. I would be interested. I want to see here if I can froth this by shaking it, because I want to see if the bubbles turn color.
There you
go. Slightly, yeah.
A little bit. Not much more than soy sauce, so. Yeah, so not a whole lot more to say about that.
I suppose a short story. My initial intention was to try and find aged soy sauce, which I had seen on Chef's Table on Netflix.
We'll leave this at your house, and it will be aged.
That's right. That's right. A documentary about
the agery.
About food and chefs and whatnot, and it's a cool show on Netflix. Anyways, they talked about how you can get actually like 25-year-old soy sauce that's been aged, I don't know, I guess in these like barrels inside of caves where they make the stuff, and it is much thicker and like has a much more viscous to it.
Much higher like bacterial count in it, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Thickened with,
But it's supposed to have a deeper, richer flavor, too, to it. So, like you pour it on. It almost looks like that eel sauce that we like so much on our sushi.
Probably the dissolving barrel inside of it is what it is. It's the wood.
That sounds sort of gross, man.
It's the wood that makes it good, Tori.
I don't know, bro. I'm envisioning like pond scum or something.
Well, I know Eric was, a while back, he was trying to talk about adding peat to everything, or moss or something like that. What were you trying to add to
your
something?
wacky-ass beers.
Beer.
You had like 5 different things. You're like, oh, they put peat in that. Moss.
I think it's a mistake of the peel. They put peel in everything.
Well, peel too. Peel and peat. But without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get on to our initial tasting notes. But without further ado there, Tori, do you want to go ahead and lead us off with your initial tasting notes for these? And let's start with the no soy.
Let's start with the no soy. Sure. Yeah, I thought it smelled distinctly different than soy sauce. I thought it smelled very, very different. I mean, it may be no soy. It may be the prevalence of soy that I'm used to smelling, like in, say, your regular Chinese restaurant Kiko Man. But there was definitely a different smell, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
I agree with you personally. For
almost
yeah,
like fruity, almost like grape juice, maybe.
Right.
I don't know. I may be going crazy, but
no, you may not, Eric.
I'm going to cut you off? No? Okay.
What'd you say? Yeah, I missed it.
I said I could jump into maybe with like what I was thinking I was smelling, but we can keep it all separated.
Tori has the nose that knows.
Ever since I quit smoking, man, I got Superman's nose.
Yeah, he has initiated us he has trained us all to smell first, taste second.
Very
wisely.
Very wise over here. Like a regular Lao Tzu.
Go ahead, Eric. What did you smell? Jump in.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Like a sweetness, and I said maybe like a fig or raisin.
Oh, I know we talked about a lot about raisins on the show.
Yeah, we like raisins.
They're a good ingredient, though.
But that's what I like. Yeah, almost like a Fig Newton package. When you open up a Fig Newton package, that's
what it is, bro.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
I didn't get that as much, but that's an interesting note to pick up.
As far as the taste is concerned, I don't think it's discernible from a regular soy sauce. What I find to be a little bit deceiving, especially at Chinese restaurants, you'll notice sometimes they have the green lid and the red lid. Apparently one's supposed to be low sodium or not. I don't know how much of that I believe, but I don't know. Between either the red or the green, the no soy, there's really no discernible difference that I got from a taste standpoint. Smells a different story.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But taste for sure. And you want me to go right on to the soyaki, soy sake?
Let's move on. We'll do one at a time. We have a guest here. I don't want to throw him too much for a loop. Eric, what about you for the no soy?
So, yeah, 100% agree on the smell, but I disagree with you on the taste. I think it tastes... You get the saltiness that it's trying to achieve. That is what I normally have with soy sauce, but then there is a funky, chemically something on the back end that I do not like at all.
Chemically, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know what to play. I don't know what it's called. Like I don't know if you saw me like making disgusting faces over here when I was trying to.
I thought that was just your face.
That's true. Ooh, it was rough. I don't really care for it. Not at all. I would much rather the real soy sauce. I'm not sure what's in it. I have yet to look. I'm sure the ingredients will be quite a surprise.
I saw you looking. You're trying to cheat.
He's cheating.
I think what figs I think is in this. No.
Oh.
Hey, the scent is all. That's just what I'm getting.
Nose.
Oh, you know? You got something?
No. I'm just calling you a cheater. That's all.
Yeah, pumpkin eater.
Yeah.
It is the time of the year for eating pumpkins. But what about you, Ryan? What do you think about it?
Well, I smelled it also at first, trying to get a feel for it. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. The Fig Newton thing resembles that to me. At first, I wanted to say it was like a soap. Wow. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the right
you
thing.
Mean?
Yeah,
okay.
It smelled like some kind of like a soap, like a hand soap, a flavor, like a scented hand soap.
Right.
I don't know. It was different for sure.
It's an interesting take.
Extreme. I thought it was. I know soy sauce is salty, but this tastes exceptionally salty, and I wasn't a fan either. It kind of had just not a great taste and an aftertaste. I agree with that.
Yes.
Taste. I don't know if it's a chemical or what it is, but it's definitely an aftertaste.
And I think it's fair to say you eat a lot of soy sauce, right?
Yeah. Not a lot, but I put it on, but I usually mix it with some other
bottles.
Yeah. Like
every night. Goes home, pounds a bottle
on it.
I just chug it. No, man. If I use it, it's like a teaspoon.
Couple splashes.
Yeah, nothing major.
Got to get his electrolytes up,
Yeah.
Sodium replenished.
And I don't really taste it to taste it like this, right? I just put on my food.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It is hard to taste soy sauce because it's so runny and it's so potent. It's really hard to get it isolated. We had it does bear mentioning we tried it tonight on some egg rolls, courtesy of me, prepared by Chef
Adam.
Eric, and some white rice prepared by Eric and courtesy of Eric. I tried it on both. I didn't really think the egg roll was a good format for it. I've never really liked putting soy sauce on egg rolls personally. I think like a chicken breast is much better suited for something like that, or the white rice. But it is hard. I did soak. I put some rice into the soy sauce to soak, and it's so potent when you do that because it's a salt bomb. Fair to say both these sauces were just salt bombs, and we've been having a lot of salt lately. We're gonna have to go get our blood pressures checked. The soft-spoken doctor that they brought in for us is very concerned.
He's on staff.
And he has to watch us, at all times, like they have on the sidelines, like a football game, because we could drop at any moment, and they'll just put us out.
I also feel like regular soy sauce has that kind of makes you pucker if you just sipped on it. You know what I mean? A pungent type of. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
But this didn't feel like it had it. It was just kind of gross.
You're still on the no soy. You're talking the no soy.
Yeah.
I agree too, personally. That was kind of my thoughts. I didn't think it was as potent as soy sauce is. I didn't get as much salt. I would have said it's more comparable to the low sodium soy sauce that you would typically get. And for me, I got, like I said, initially, the first thing that hits me was kind of like that soy sauce taste. I didn't think it had quite as much of an umami flavor as soy sauce usually has. I thought it was a little flat on that note, which is kind of like the point of soy sauce. So that was a little bit of a letdown. I didn't get so much the chemically taste. What I got was almost like a nuttiness, though. Not like a good, like a walnut or something, more like almost like a peanut kind of aftertaste. And that was what I was getting. I thought it was nutty. And I'm not even leading up to a joke here, Eric. I'm being sincere.
You'll walk into another joke head first.
I'm not even setting you up here. I'm saying I think it was legitimately somewhat nutty.
When you bite into when you're eating pistachios and you come across one of those shriveled awful looking ones, and you're like, should I eat this? And you probably shouldn't, but you decide to bite down into it anyways.
Food. Yeah, normally people throw those away, Eric.
No, not me. I'm always like, pistachios are pretty luxurious. They're pretty expensive.
Luxurious.
I think so. For my spending habits.
They are pricey usually.
Yeah, they are.
I wouldn't call them luxurious, but that's okay.
But yeah, and then you bite down onto this like shriveled off-colored one. It has like a tangy, like that's kind of nuttiness is sort of what I'm
the bad nuttiness.
Kind of getting maybe.
All in all, though, I didn't dislike it. I'm not that big of a user of soy sauce. Mostly where I use soy sauce is in things that I want to kick the umami flavor up, and I think the salt won't overpower it. Like like we mentioned, you can pretty much throw anything in a chili. I almost always put some soy sauce in a chili just to kick that umami up.
Wow. I only eat it with sushi. That's it.
I eat it
with sushi and white rice.
Okay, yeah.
As Adam likes to make fun of my poor cheap dinners, my
baked potato.
My baked potato meal. Bread. Sometimes a piece of bread.
You guys ever seen that meme that's left pizza, or no, it's like none pizza, left beef, or something like that. I don't remember what. It's like just beef on an empty sheet of pizza. That seems like something you would eat, Eric. But anyways, go ahead.
Believe it, sure, yeah. I like to make rice, and then I'll just steam some vegetables, and then I'll just put a little bit of soy sauce on it, and then call it dinner. So rice and vegetables.
The aftertaste on this is not good.
Oh, it's not good at all.
Now that you mention it,
it's pretty bad, right?
Sort of weird. Yeah.
Wow.
There's none pizza left.
That is the saddest pizza.
It's a meme.
Although it is right in line with me, I've definitely made a lot of no cheese pizzas because of my lactose intolerance. So I just, this is just missing the left beef.
You should just simply tolerate it, dude. It's really not that big of a deal.
So what are we looking at here? I don't even know what that is.
So this is just a pizza they ordered from Pizza Hut or something like that, and they ordered it none pizza, like all the toppings off of it, left beef. So they just left all the toppings off the pizza, and then they sprinkled
random
beef chunks on the left and baked it. Okay. But of course they fell all over because there's nothing to hold them there. So it's just a funny internet thing, yeah. And since we're on the Googling machine, we'll look at waifu pillows.
Oh, criminy.
Here's one on Amazon. A waifu is like an anime. It's a weird, like, fetish thing for, yes.
So you have one of these?
No. Eric has several.
None of us have any of these.
Actually, I had an ex-girlfriend one time who probably doesn't listen to this show. Yeah, I did. Believe it or not, I had an ex-girlfriend one time, Eric. But she actually had, I'll say her name. I'll bleep it out on the show, but it was she had... Oh, yeah,
I know exactly who you were going for.
Yeah, she had a waifu pillow, except for it was the cartoon character from the Marvel movies, Loki. So it was a man, and this was like the primary pillow, and I moved in with her at one point, so we had to both share this Loki waifu pillow that I had to sleep on, and I was like... I just tried to ignore it.
Dude, on Amazon it says here you can make your own. You can be your own waifu pillow.
I want to get Eric a waifu of himself. And we can just leave it in people's houses. Oh, that would be perfect.
Leave it up for Halloween.
Right. Oh, that would be a good Halloween decoration. We're going to have to look into that. How much is that? $130?
I didn't catch it.
Yeah, $129.99.
So elated.
It's disturbing.
That's worth it. We can all split it. That's $40 a person. Eric won't throw in. That's $60 for each of us. So $70.
I'll pitch in.
Oh, beautiful.
Perfect.
We got him.
Ryan, you're supposed to be on my side.
I think we should do like the front normal and then the back just like Photoshop his ass hanging out.
Yes. In chaps or something.
Right. Yeah. Perfect. Oof, man, we went off on a tangent there.
Oh, boy.
How did we even get off on this? I don't know. I was making fun of you with something with your food eating habits. Oh, your baked potato. One time,
your sad-ass dinners.
What I would use soy sauce with on a regular basis.
I came over here one time, and Eric sat down to eat dinner. He made a baked potato with bacon bits on it. That was it. That was his dinner.
That was dinner.
That was dinner.
Which, that just seems sad to me.
Bachelor life, dude.
Yeah, getting your sad man macros in there, I guess.
Hey, don't mean to interrupt your program. This is Tori from Soft Spoken, and I want to tell you about a great podcast that's out there.
Yeah, thanks, Tori. So we were recently on an episode of Pods Like Us with Marv, and he hosts a show talking about other podcasters. And the really neat thing for me, as a big fan of podcasts, is it's a great way to go find some other shows, rapid fire style, that I might be interested in listening to. What did you like about a show, Tori?
It's like the director's cut of your favorite shows. You sort of get that peek behind the curtain that you wouldn't see otherwise. You get the emotional side, you get the technical side. It's awesome.
What about you, Eric?
It was super great to be on his show ourselves, and he also recommended a show for me to listen to when he talks to his good friend Sam Wheatley because of our shared interest in board games.
Once again, that's Pods Like Us with Marv. Make sure to check them out every time a show comes out. We've got 2 on there, but there's lots of other good ones to check out as well.
It's a great show about great shows. You can't go wrong. Now back to your regularly scheduled soft-spoken programming.
But let's go ahead and move on to the soy sucky that Eric also. You wanna lead us off with that first there, Eric?
I was just dreaming of some good sake, I guess, apparently, some Soyaki sauce, which is
it is written
a clever
in like a weird script, right?
Yeah. It's definitely a cursive Z, or could be.
It's a cursive. So,
it's a cursive Y, but anyways.
Yeah. Soyzuki.
Right? So, yeah, my flavor notes on this was actually even more salty, more similar to regular soy. The smell is reminiscent of, teriyaki sauce. That's pretty much what you would expect it. It smells salty, and it tastes more sweet, I think, than it comes across the way it smells.
Yep.
And you have those little bit of sesame seed bits, and I don't know. I liked it. It was sweet and salty and balanced, and it clung to the rice well. It clung to the egg roll really well. So I thought it was pretty much a winner for me. I kind of liked it.
Cool. What about you, Ryan?
I like this one much better. Definitely like a much sweeter soy sauce. The sesame seeds, you can, I think, come out off in the smell a little bit. If you smell it, you can smell that. But so yeah, definitely sweet, sesame sweet. It can taste the ginger in it for sure. And there's those little chunks of both, right? Seeds and ginger, I guess. But I liked it much better. This one was good.
It's interesting you bring up the smell of sesame. I remember I was trying to copy some recipe off of online that used, some Asian recipe, and it said to use soy or sesame oil, and that was the first time I'd ever opened up and smelled. I was like, oh wow, sesame has a scent, because might always have the seeds. So that's interesting. You brought it up, but you really have to know kind of. I feel like it's not a common scent for people.
You bought a bottle of the oil, you said?
I did.
Did you say the magic words?
What are...
Open sesame.
Oh, come on!
Eric, come on. Keep up. You need some electrolytes. Get your brain firing.
Right?
You need a fillet of fish, some brain food.
He got me again. For me personally, I'm right on with you guys. It was definitely, primary notes that you're getting there are definitely soy sauce. I did get, it's interesting. It's thicker than like a soy sauce is, and it's also kind of stringy. I dipped my fingy in there to get a little bit on it so I could retaste it, and it stretched a little bit, which I thought was interesting. Almost kind of like the Marmite that we tried, but not quite that dramatic. I think that's mainly from the sweetness. There may be some binders or something in there, maybe a xanthan gum. Bang. Possibly, maybe not. But I was definitely getting a little bit of a sticky there, and other than that, I really liked it. I thought it kicked that umami back up like soy sauce should, and I think I'm going to take an ingredient guess here, and I think that there is fish paste, maybe not fish paste, but maybe fish sauce. I think, and because what this actually reminded me more so of was that eel sauce that we get. I think this was saltier than that and a little bit stronger. And I think the eel sauce can sometimes be a little bit sweeter too, but I think this was kind of reminiscent of that. I liked it very much on the egg rolls and also decently on the rice, but I found it harder to portion onto the rice in an appropriate amount so it wasn't overpowering it. And it is worth mentioning that we tried these egg rolls with the lady mustard sauce from a few episodes ago. I did not like those egg rolls with that sauce, and I will say this sauce managed to save those egg rolls. I thought that they were much better with this sauce on them. Yeah, that's got big points for me because I got rid of those egg rolls I wasn't a huge fan of. So, but what about you, Tori? What were you tasting there?
Yeah, I think you nailed a grand slam. Hit a home run with that eel sauce comment. Right on the ball point, as we like to say around here. Yeah, because you really nailed it. I'd be curious as to know if these seeds in here, these sesame seeds are roasted or not. I'd be very interested to see. And I'm sure we'll get into that.
So I wonder if the ingredients will call it out.
Ingredients list.
Yeah.
They may.
Maybe.
I would think so.
Yeah, I thought this was really good. And I don't know. Judging that I only eat soy sauce on sushi, I could easily see myself eating this on a number of different things. So I think by that virtue alone, it's going to get a pretty high rating from me. But yeah, dang good. I was very pleasantly surprised.
I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't even considering the versatility of the sauces, but that makes sense. This one, has a broader reach,
yes,
no question.
I feel like that one was more salty than the no soy sauce.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yep,
a lot more salt.
I could have actually done with a little bit less salt, to be quite honest. I think it would be good on something like sushi, especially if you had like one of those. What is that? A California roll where they throw the cucumber in there?
Yes.
I could see something like that wateriness, kind of the bland cucumber, kind of toning down the salt a little bit. But yeah, I really like this a lot too, and I could definitely see throwing on something like a sushi being really good.
Oh yeah, that would be really good.
But I know we took several firm guesses there, a couple hard stances on ingredients, so let's go ahead and roll on to Eric's favorite segment.
Oh yes.
The ingredients.
Do we have a particular one I want to start with?
We started off with the no soy first, so you may as well, I expect that one to be maybe simpler, maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe more chemicals.
Right? Maybe.
I'm wondering, this was something I thought about before the podcast. Have you ever had that no salt stuff?
No.
It's like, it's salt without sodium because there's, in chemistry terms, Tori, I know this is, you're going to be asleep before the end of this.
Wake me up when it's over, all right?
Right. Wake you up when September ends, perchance.
I don't know. Is it going to take that long?
Maybe, but that's a Green Day song.
Yes,
reference.
I actually knew that one.
Eric got a reference!
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm going to have to find a sound effect for that. Eric got a reference for the first time on the show. Anyways, in chemistry terms, anything that there's a variety of different types of salts, things like potassium, magnesium, can all be salts. And table salt is sodium chloride, but you can have other chlorides, and a lot of those things have similar tastes to salt. But sodium is the thing that's responsible for like raising your blood pressure and the other negative effects, that you typically get from salt that people think of. So you can replace that with a very similar tasting thing to salt, but no sodium. And that's safe for like potassium as a popular replacement, and also in things like water softeners. You can get sodium-based water softeners or potassium ones for people with high blood pressure or who are prone to it. And I'm wondering if maybe part of this thing that we're interpreting as like less salty is a salt replacement thing too. Maybe it's a potassium chloride or something like that. Maybe.
We don't really usually look at the nutritional values.
I am curious what the sodium percentage is, I guess.
All right, so I'll start off with that because we'll do it for both of them as well, because since we're talking about how salty they are.
I know what the sodium content for the other one is. 100%.
You might be surprised about this one. So one serving size is 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
It's 29% of your daily sodium. It's 660 milligrams.
Whoa.
That's
salty.
Strong.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's roughly what regular soy sauce is.
Oh, really? I think you're right. Yeah, it's
like
pretty high.
And high sixes.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Wow, it does sound right.
Wow. Interesting.
All right. The ingredients is water, sea salt, organic molasses, organic apple cider vinegar, organic lime juice, natural flavor, organic kelp, which is seaweed.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
Organic mushrooms, fruit and vegetable juice for color.
Maybe on something there.
Yeah, because you guys were saying the figs for that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. And the apple cider vinegar, I can see that contributing a little bit.
That's interesting. And it makes a note that the kelp and the mushrooms are dried, pulverized, I guess, and added. That probably there's a little bit of flakes that you saw.
That's what the particles were.
Yeah, the particles.
Pulverization. That's an interesting thought there. I thought the rest of those ingredients made perfect sense, though. I mean, it was not quite what I expected, but I guess, if you're going to make a substitute to it, it seems like a reasonable way to go about it.
I wonder what kelp was achieving.
I think some of that umami flavor. Yeah, I think that's
trying to.
Yeah, I think that's what you get from that largely, and probably some of the saltiness too.
I'm surprised I didn't like the apple cider vinegar seems high up on the list, and it really didn't come across.
I didn't get that much either. I'm wondering if the molasses was mostly for color. Because I didn't really taste much of it. There's no sweetness that I got, really.
No.
Is that what remember I said like a soap smell? Is that the molasses that
it
I'm
could
smelling?
Be. It could definitely
be. It's like a sweeter...
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep saying soap, but it reminds me of...
Also, that apple cider vinegar can also has, it gets in your nose a little bit. So sometimes that can kind of do that a little bit.
I drink apple cider vinegar every day in my water.
Okay, so you should be well
accustomed to that. I didn't taste it.
I didn't taste it at all in this either. I would never have guessed that was in there.
How much do you put in the water?
I just if that's like a 20-ounce glass, I just pour some in. I don't measure it.
Oh, you don't measure anything?
If I had to measure it, it's probably I don't know, a tablespoon or more, somewhere around there.
A splash per glass.
Just
Do you drink the stuff with the mother or just the regular stuff?
With the mother.
Yeah, I like that stuff. I've done that before,
it's
too.
supposed to be good for digestion. And,
That's what I've heard.
So
wow.
I feel like it works.
Hey, rock on.
I've tried it before myself, but I always did this like a whole tablespoon just straight.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I used to use lemon juice in my water.
Oh, I like lemon juice
for a
lot.
long time. I didn't want water unless I had lemon in it, and then I switched to that, which was kind of gross at first, and then I got used to it, and now I like it.
We mentioned before we were talking on the show, we were mentioning some of my earlier life, and I've told on the podcast before that I was a chunky little boy. And when I was up until I think solidly until I was in like my 20s, I did not drink water at all. I drank milk, probably a lot of milk, like gallons of milk per week, and which would help with the weight, and Powerade, drank a lot of Powerade. And not a lot of pop, though, but a lot of juice, which is just as bad in most cases.
Yeah, right.
A lot of juice, a lot of Powerade, and milk, no water. Now I drink 99% water, or tea or coffee or something similar to that. But yeah, and then like a pop is like, 1 or 2 a week, unless I'm over at Tori's, in which case we're popping a little...
oat sodas, babe.
Yeah, exactly.
Oat pops.
Some brewed pops.
Yeah.
That's a little different, but... not that much different.
But better. Infinitely better.
Let's get on to the ingredients on the Soyaki. That's you, Eric.
This is ingredients, dude. This is your
segment.
Yeah.
They want to take a guess on the sodium.
1,500 milligrams.
Way off.
I'm going to say it's less than that.
You saw it.
I saw it, so I won't say anything.
Huh.
All right. Well, for same amount of serving size, 1 tablespoon, it's 26%. It only comes in at 590. Only.
Huh.
Yeah. Trying to make this sound good here.
Wow.
Did you say 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon?
1 tablespoon.
Okay. Jesus. How many tablespoons do you suppose we had? At least 3, right?
Oh, easily.
In that cup? I don't think so. I didn't eat all mine.
Yeah, true. Yeah, right.
That's 75% of your daily sodium now in that cup.
Wow,
or
I'm really
100%.
Surprised that's less than the no soy one.
I know, it's weird because
it does not taste less.
I don't know. I don't know what to attribute to that. But I guess we'll tell us the rest of the ingredients, Eric.
Probably the sweetness helps to amp the saltiness. They kind of like play off of each other.
That, but sometimes that can help balance it out too. I don't know. Read the rest of the ingredients, Eric.
Start the ingredients? Yeah, I'd be happy to, Adam. The ingredients are soy sauce, which is water, wheat, soybeans, salt, alcohol, distilled vinegar.
All right.
And then it has sugar.
Okay.
More water, or water salt. No, there's definitely a comma there. Okay, so more water.
Water
Don't know
salt.
why. Yeah, that's weird. Canola oil, dehydrated onion, sesame seeds, dehydrated garlic, ginger, sesame oil, citric acid, spice. All of that. That's very nice and generic. And xanthan gum.
Bang,
bang, bang! There it is. The gun.
Very good.
I called a lot of those, man.
Yeah. That's true. I even got the xanthan gum.
Yeah, right. Well done.
Damn, I'm getting
dehydrated onion.
hot shit at
The
this.
sauce was designed by Adam secretly here.
Well, it looks like those dehydrated onions. That's
it really does.
because that's what McDonald's uses. Those little dehydrated onions, which I simultaneously hate and also kind of love. So.
Kind of love.
That's interesting. Yeah, nothing really surprising about that one either. The sodium thing was the most shocking thing because one was distinctly saltier than the other. It's not the one that the label would have said. One that makes you wonder if one of them's lying. Maybe Market District's sneaking one in on you.
Well, there's a lot more sugar, added sugars and whatnot to the Soyaki.
Oh, that's why it's good.
That's why it's good, right? Yeah. So it's 40 calories per serving on that one versus 5 calories on the other one.
Ooh.
So is the serving size the same?
Yes.
That's what
1
he says.
tablespoon.
That's what he's claiming.
The tablespoon.
Well, we got some pretty good...
I lied.
Oh,
Is that what it was this whole time?
Come
on.
Yeah, it's teaspoon on the
Eric,
no
you
soy.
Son of a bitch. I trusted you. This is why I grit on you so hard because you're like, oh, I can do that. No, you can't.
That's still not what we're thinking.
No. They're both tablespoon. We're
for Christ's sakes.
TBSP. Those are both tablespoons.
Okay.
The Market District one has a capital T on it, then the other one had a lowercase. So I was thinking,
Eric.
it's the lowercase. It's the little one. No, it's not. It's just improperly written.
I'll cut you a break this time.
I won't.
Maybe.
Now my blood pressure is rising for reasons unrelated to the sodium.
Even more so than usual.
Well, I do want to spend about a brief 30 seconds here about, there's the waifu pillows.
I want to talk about waifu pillows more.
Go back to those. We'll close that out so that doesn't come back up.
Yeah, I never want to see that again.
I straight up couldn't find the Soyaki on the Market District website. I couldn't find it on their website. I couldn't find it just by Googling or anything. I couldn't find this online. It makes me wonder if this is another one of those test market things, where maybe they're just trying this out.
Good possibility. I think we've mentioned before on the podcast here that Giant Eagle is a Pittsburgh local company, and so they definitely use. I think it's Pittsburgh specifically.
Okay, all right,
pretty sure.
Could be right. I don't know. I'll trust you on that at least.
I'll fact check myself in the show notes and probably be wrong.
I wish we could get some confirmation on these test market things, because we always speculate on that and we never get any, we never find out,
That's locked away in R&D, man.
Yeah, I know. They don't want to tell you.
Them nerds ain't going to tell you that.
But the Ocean's Halo for the no soy does have a little bit of a web presence, and we don't need to dwell on a lot of these here, but we can just kind of blaze through. They've got a spicy Korean barbecue sauce, which is done well historically for us on the podcast. Not that exact one.
Yeah, right. The Korean barbecue. Boy, that was a hit.
Well, this one here, Tori, what do you got there?
Oh, one of my personal favorites, a vegan fish soy-free sauce. Wow, wrap your brain around that one.
What we got here, Eric? Your favorite?
A stir fry.
Oh, boy!
I love stir fry. Stir fry soy-free sauce.
There hasn't been an episode yet that has gone on that Eric hasn't talked about stir frying something. What do we got here, Ryan?
We got a teriyaki soy-free sauce.
And, man, there's a lot of sauces on here. I should have started off with the rapid fire thing.
Yeah, right,
that's more
exactly.
Fun.
Yeah.
Tori, what do we got for this one?
Asian pear vinaigrette. I'm helping you out.
Eric?
Ginger sesame vinaigrette.
Ryan?
Moi onion style ranch dressing.
Yeah, I think it's Maui. I think that's Maui. I think it's Hawaii. That's a Hawaiian thing. Tori?
Wasabi ranch dressing.
Eric?
Tangy Thai dressing.
Right. Oh, no.
Hopefully better than Tangy Bang.
You lucked out.
Yeah, you lucked out. You didn't have to do another one. Normally we do a rapid fire where we go as fast as we can. Just if I know there's like 30 sauces, we're not going to spend 10 minutes on each one of them. So, but they've got, it looks like a whole line of them thing. They've got
seaweeds. Perfect.
Seaweeds.
Yeah.
They've got seaweeds.
It's a one-stop seaweed shop.
Very good.
That's all you need.
Perfect. They've got and this had kelp in it, right? Was that one?
It did.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So they're sourced from themselves. Rice noodles and, does that say bowls?
It does.
Broths, seasonings, sauces and dressings, deep sea waters.
We gotta give that a click.
We gotta click on that. Oh, they're water. Okay, it's a drink. Okay, That makes a little bit more sense.
Those actually look good.
They do look really good, actually. We'll definitely try those. They're probably loaded with sugar, but that's okay. Notice none of these said sugar-free. I thought was interesting. But, they have a cause. Let's read their cause. We'll give them a platform.
What's their credo?
See how long this is here. Turning the tide together. They're doing everything they can to protect our oceans for future generations. Oh, that's noble. Reducing our use of plastic, except for when they cap the thing with the black shrink wrap.
Right. And the plastic cap
they didn't need. Well, they got to have a cap, but they don't have to have the market
districts is metal.
Well, that's a good point. And donating 1% for the planet. Okay. Plastic tray? No way. Seaweed snacks, no plastic tray.
Save the otters. I can get with that.
So, to summarize this,
I love them cute little creatures.
Oh, Monterey Bay.
Yeah.
Donate to the Monterey Bay. Tori, you like Monterey Bay. You like eating the sea critters from Monterey Bay.
Not otters.
Not saving them. You don't?
No.
Would you eat an otter?
Probably not.
I would probably try otter, for being honest. They look like they would be soft.
Look how little cute they are.
But they look like they would be tender. Like veal.
I don't know, man.
Oh, boy. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the ratings portion of the show. Tori, would you like to lead us off with your rating? And let's start off with the no soy, because we've been keeping consistent with that.
Yeah.
We'll go around on that one, and then we'll come back around for the soyaki.
Yeah, sounds great to me. Yeah, the no soy, I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't sure what I was expecting, to be very frank with you. A lot of times with these wild products where they just go radically off the ranch, with a no soy sauce and a gluten-free pancake muffin mix. I mean, that's just crazy. But in this particular case, I thought it did okay. I would substitute it out for sushi exclusively. It would not find a home anywhere else on my plate except for sushi, and it would have to be, I would have to run out of the regular soy sauce first. Huh. So, I mean, just to frame my score around that, I think I'm going to land at a 5. All
right.
Not showing off, not falling behind. I think for a soy sauce, I think it's okay. 5.
Seems fair. And just for the sake of clarity for Ryan here, on our rating scale, we do ratings from a 0 to a 10. Typically, we say that like Heinz ketchup falls like right in the middle at a 5. We say that's like just kind of like your average sauce. Things that are, and if you don't like, some people don't like ketchup, some people do. So try not to factor that in. We're just using that as like the most common thing that people are aware of. That's your average. Things that are really good might be rated higher. Like we've tried some artisan chocolate sauces from the Olive Tap that got a very high rating. And things that are much lower than that, we've tried, I mentioned earlier, the Lee Kum Kee sauce, which is was a gritty mess of a sauce.
It was much better cooked.
So bad.
That we gave it like a 1. So, and that was just because Eric gave it like a 2 and Tori and I gave it a 0. Yeah. So,
okay.
So that's just kind of like a general sense for our ratings. But we'll let Eric go here and we'll see what he wants to give it for the no soy for a rating.
I think it was a good effort. I think they really tried hard to capture that taste with using the kelp and trying to replicate an umami flavor of soy. I do feel like they missed the ball, though. I don't care for that aftertaste afterwards. So I'm going to be a little bit harsher. I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Ooh.
Wow.
Brutal. All right, Ryan, you're up. Go ahead and give her a rating.
That's real close to what I was going to say. I was going to give it a 3. It's funny, Tori, at the gym, I had to run over to the Dollar General to buy some soy sauce one day, so I got some way generic soy sauce, and it's better than this.
Wow.
So I'm going to give it a 3.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me personally, I'm kind of right in that same ballpark. I'm thinking taste-wise, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3, and I'm going to give it a half a discretionary point, and the only reason I'm doing that is just because soy is kind of a unique flavor. It's got that kind of like tsunami build to it, and it's hard to replicate that. And I think that they did a reasonably good facsimile as close as you can without using soy. So I'm going to acknowledge it's a hard thing to do, and I'm going to give them a 0.5 for that. And that being said, there probably are people that can't have soy, but soy's in everything. There's so many things that have soy in them. So to me, the way I'm looking at this has no place in my home. If I'm going to use soy sauce, I need that umami. And for the people that can't eat soy, I have to imagine that this is not the first thing they're worrying about. You know what I mean? Think of how many sauces we've had that had soybean oil in them,
Oh, sure.
I can't imagine soy sauce is your highest priority if you're someone that can't eat soy.
Yeah.
You're too busy trying to just survive.
Yeah, right.
Much less figuring out what you're going to dip your sushi into. So I think 3.5 is a pretty fair to land on for that.
I do have to admit, I wonder if trying the no soy sauce on sushi, because most sushi rolls have, you got the fish and everything, it has an aftertaste that lingers. I wonder if that would compete with this weird aftertaste I was getting. I wonder if that would be like a food that it would work better with.
It's possible.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
yeah, fair.
Yeah, the fish could do something. I mean, the rice would be the same.
I'm kind of like the no soy, kind of like being like no fat ice cream. Like you just don't do that.
No
right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
no
ice
point. Cream. So
no fat, no sugar, no point. That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I said, for this, I just wanted to state up, I didn't mind the aftertaste. That part didn't bother me. I found that to be the least offensive part of it. So it was just the rest of it that wasn't doing it for me. Like I said, the nuttiness that I was tasting didn't find unpleasant.
Right, so you're saying a lack of depth of flavor, the fact that it just didn't have that umami.
It wasn't hitting the things that I would want to use a soy sauce for. So to me, not a suitable replacement. I'm not going to use it, not going to buy it. Now the Soyaki on their hand, Tori, what were your thoughts on that?
Wow, I thought that was really terrific. I really, really liked that. I thought the comparison to the eel sauce was fabulous. I don't think you could characterize that sauce any better than that, and I'm a fan of that eel sauce. I would put that probably on a hamburger, I'm thinking. That would be maybe within the meat before grilling. Maybe that would be
either.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, I was really impressed by it. Overall, I was impressed by both sauces, really. But I was really impressed with this Soyaki. Enough to give it a big old snowman, an 8, an 8.
Nice.
I like it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to fully agree with you there, Tori. I really, really like the sauce. It just hits all the right notes for me.
Does.
That onion, the garlic, the teriyaki sweetness, the salty.
I like the look of it, to be honest with you.
Right. Is it healthy for you? Heck no. But, I'm talking about flavor. I'm talking about, like, versatility and use. Like you're saying, put on a burger, put on chicken, put on, absolutely, sushi. Anyways, I'm going to have to come in with a 9.
Ooh.
I like it a lot.
Flying high.
All
What
right.
you, Ryan, there?
I was going to give it a 7. It was good. A lot of times when we make that chicken we talked about earlier, if I go to reheat it and want to spice it up or put something on it, if I had made it plain originally, I would heat up a pan, either pick apart the chicken or cut it up into pieces and kind of flash fry it and something like that. And that might taste pretty good. It's maybe a little bit too watery to make it the way I would like it.
Right.
I would probably use like a thicker type of sauce to like brown the chicken with. Anyway, that's what I'm kind of rating it on if I was to use it that way, because it's probably the way I would use it. And I'm going to give it a 7.
Cool.
All right.
Lucky 7.
Nice.
I think it's interesting. You kind of hit on the healthiness of these two sauces. And I think that's an interesting thing for you to comment on, Eric, because I know, like we mentioned, Ryan and Tori, and sometimes me for half the year are into, going to the gym and fitness. And are you into fitness, Eric?
Absolutely not.
How about fitness, Dick?
That's a big no.
I'm going to send off a flare when
I gave you my joke.
Next time there's this freight train of a joke careening towards you, I'm going to, we'll set off some bottle rockets or something.
I couldn't even get that one off. I started cracking up dearly. We maybe even used that before on the show. I don't know. Regardless, for me, on a serious note now, Eric, get back to business. I think on this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm coming in at, I think, an 8.5. Reason for that being, I really like this a lot. The kind of key things, for me to be a sauce to be a 10, I like to think of it as there's nothing I can think of off the top of my head to improve on it. And some improvements I think I would make on this to get it more to a 10 would be, I think I would like it thicker. And I would like to have a better balance between the salt and the sweetness. I would say the sweetness is fine. I'm happy with where that's at. It's not overpoweringly sweet. It's not like sickeningly sweet. So it's better for like a savory dish or even like a sushi type thing. I could bring that salt down a little bit. I would be curious to try it on a sushi that was, kind of otherwise unsalted, because I think that might be suitable for that. But those are kind of the adjustments I would want to make. Ultimately, what I'd want to make with it would be that eel sauce. That's just, I love that stuff. That is a 10 to me. Mm-hmm. So
I wonder what goes. I've never really looked into what goes into eel sauce. I imagine
eel. It's right there in the name, Eric.
Right, eel.
They just ring them out.
Is it just eel like a fish?
I think it's very similar to this. I think just instead of using like the fish sauce, they're using like an eel sauce, But I think the rest of it's all the sugar and the soy sauce and the blah 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 and the xanthan gum bang bang, So
to give it that thickness. That
exactly.
Makes sense.
So to me, I think they said 8.5. I really liked it. I think that's fair.
Very cool.
Add them to the spreadsheet, babe.
Add them to that spreadsheet.
Love
we got that. We got her tracking. Cool. Well, I think that's going to do. Why'd you turn the sauces away from me? As I'm just about to say them. Cool. Well, I think that's going to do it for us this week for the No Soy Ocean's Halo No Soy Soy-Free Sauce and the Market District Soyaki Sauce. And with all that being said, I did want to do a little bit of a more of a discussion, because you had brought up an interesting point earlier off the show, Tori, and you asked Ryan a question. I was hoping that you would repeat that on the air if that's something we're okay with recording.
Yeah, most definitely, assuming we get the okay from the boss.
For sure.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, there on your.
If it makes you feel better, no one will listen to this. So
on your shirt there, I noticed it says MFCM underneath the logo, of course, and the banner of Selly's Fitness Center. And I inquired because I have to know, because I've seen lettering like that, usually on the back of a biker jacket, and it'll say, the MC usually stands for motorcycle club, and here, is there some biker lifestyle that I'm not aware of? You got the Harley.
No, but the font is like a biker type of font, I would say.
Okay,
so that was the idea behind the font.
Very nice. Well, you nailed it.
And then the initials MFMC.
Say it loud and say it proud.
Yeah, that stands for the motherfucking Selly method. And
yeah,
that is that's just a term some of my clients came up with when I train them, and the way that I train them and the methods that I use. And the one client in particular came up with that because every time I would tell him, all right, do this weight for this many reps time after time, he couldn't do one more rep. It was like perfect.
Yeah.
Weight, perfect rep. And probably the way I trained you, I think we even came across a couple of those times.
Yeah, you were pushing.
Like, you don't even know me, but you picked the right weight and the right number, like right on.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it stemmed from.
Okay. Cool. And I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention your stint as the world record holder.
I did have the world record for a little while.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I think
why didn't we talk about this earlier?
I think that's a very interesting thing. If you wouldn't mind elaborating on
No,
that.
I'd love to. So, I competed for a long time in the sport of powerlifting, and that's 3 lifts combined. It's a squat, a bench press, and a deadlift. And at a competition, you have 3 attempts on each one of those lifts to try to get the most weight as possible. And your best lift on each of those they take, and they add up for what they call a total. And that's how you would be placed,
Cool.
Highest total wins. So yeah, back in 2010, I was able to break like an all-time record for my weight class in the 198 pound weight class.
Unreal.
And the total ended up being 1840.
Jesus Christ.
Like a 625 pound squat and a 530 pound bench.
Oh, wow.
And a 675 pound deadlift. And at the time, that's insane. That was the most done under those, like, they call it a raw record. So raw meaning like all you had on was like a weightlifting belt.
Yeah.
And a pair of like wrist wraps. And you could wear like a sleeve over your knee, not like a knee wrap, but like just a pullover sleeve.
Like I'm thinking like a neoprene
sleeve, like you see. Yeah.
At 198, that's insane. Over 3 times your body weight on all 3, except for the bench on 2 of those. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's absurd. Yeah, that is beyond my comprehension as a very much a novice lifter. So
that's kind of special.
That's crazy.
I would say so. Yeah, cool. Hell yeah, that's special.
Yeah, but there's federations that like you'd have to say like, okay, like I have other world records in different federations, but it's just under that federation. So it's really possible that some other federation has higher lifts.
Oh, right.
You know, so it gets kind of...
Gotcha.
And these federations, I'm imagining they're real localized. I'm thinking like, I don't know, like the Florida region or, you know, the Mahoning Valley or something.
National. They're usually national.
Oh, okay.
So United States.
Okay.
Whatever. You know?
I'm thinking studio wrestling, professional wrestling. You know,
no. I mean, some of it gets to be like that.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like, but
yeah, I don't mean that in a disrespectful sense, but in like an organizational sense.
Yeah.
At least back in the day.
Huh.
For sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah, when I heard record first, I was thinking like Guinness World Record, like in the books. Like I guess that's considered.
Well, I mean, that's essentially.
That has to be some.
I don't know because I don't know how that all works with the Guinness. Like I think you have
to call them out.
They come and they have their standards and all of that.
Yeah, they have to observe.
And some of those are kind of different anyway, right?
Yeah,
a little bit hooky.
Yeah, they're not. A lot of those aren't like the straightforward ones. You know, they're going for wackiness.
Yeah, like a plank for
how many
3
plastic
days
spoons
or
to fit in your mouth or something stupid. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so I got to hold that for a little while.
Wow,
nice. So that was cool.
That's cool.
But now I'm retired. Done. Sweet. And broken.
Well, comparatively, I mean, you still probably put up a lot more weight than 99% of the population walking around, plus 99 plus.
Easily.
So, probably. You forget that though, you know what I mean? But yeah, sometimes I feel weak and then you look around and you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm still doing okay.
Yeah.
But comparatively from back then with that type of training and how hard it was, to me, I lost a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You worked for it.
I always kind of consider myself a jack of all trades. So when someone asks me, you know, if I'm good at something, I'll say, yeah, compared to the average person walking around, yeah, very much, you know.
Yeah, it's all relative.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Like I think you asked me how much weight was I doing when I got hurt, and it's like, well, it's all relative.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah, exactly.
It was enough to hurt me.
Yeah, right. It was enough to suck.
Yeah, it was enough to. I've heard that's an extremely painful injury too, tearing your pec.
The first time it was. I would say it's pretty painful. The second time, not so much.
You're used to it by then.
I don't know why, but it wasn't as bad.
Oh, man. I imagine the recovery time is probably long, because that's a muscle you use a lot, too.
Yeah, man. The first one took... it's never been right, actually. I'm hoping to get it fixed here shortly.
Yeah, that's another thing I've noticed as I'm getting older, too, is that things don't go away forever like they used to, you know. Little Nixon.
Things last a lot longer, and it's, easier to get hurt.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that was really interesting. We got more out of, we got a lot of good, interesting conversation this way. We don't always get that from guests. Sometimes they're a little bit more quiet, a little more reserved. This is really good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Cool. And, nothing against our friends or my neighbor, but Ryan.
Oh, fuck them.
Fuck them, right. I mean, I'd have to say, I think you're probably one of the most interesting fellow we've had. Okay. Yeah, on the show, just with the story in the background. So, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I'm glad you felt comfortable sharing, because I think sometimes people have things to say or like that, and they don't always come forward with them. Like we tried to get Tori's wife, who was a very entertaining guest. We tried to get her to plug her powerlifting Instagram.
Yeah, right.
She didn't want to plug it. Yeah. She didn't want to be associated with us. But
so but that's funny. Like Amy and I were talking before I come in today, and I said, you just love lifting, right? And she was like, yeah, man, I love it. But you can tell when somebody actually has a passion for it, right, and when somebody is actually doing it for Instagram, right, to be famous on there and all that stuff. So there's definitely two types of people.
Oh, yeah.
And, so I'm somebody that's passionate about it, and that's all I've done my whole life. So
it shows.
Different than if somebody just wants to do it just to try to get whatever likes and whatever.
Dopamine hits.
Recognition.
Yeah. Tori and I have joked about being at the gym and just... he and we both have the same approach, which is get in, get out. I don't have any desire to spend all day there. But then you see the people there who are just sitting there playing on their phones or taking pictures, whatever. It's like, what are you doing, dude?
It drives me crazy.
Yeah, it drives me absolutely insane.
Especially when you have the gym and you got people there waiting to use your stuff. It's like, but all right. But with all that being said, Eric, do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to share with us?
Sure, I'm going to butcher this quote by Anne Sweeney. I'll just paraphrase it.
You have a quote?
Oh, yeah, I do.
You prepared something?
Sort of prepared something. Like I said, I'm going to butcher all the hell.
Oh, my God. Be still mine heart.
Define success on your own terms, achieve them on your own terms, and be happy with your life. So that's, kind of... I like, exactly your life here, the things you've done, the things you've built up and whatnot. You've certainly defined what you're passionate about and your own kind of success there, Ryan. So it was really cool for you to share that.
I've just been lucky to be able to do something I love.
Nice.
So.
You don't need any more reasons to procrastinate and put off doing things, Eric. I don't think you need to be seeking out reinforcement for that.
Leave it to Adam to have his 2 cents. I always appreciate
I know where you're going
as
with that,
a friend.
You knew that wasn't going to fly. Tori, what about you this week? What do you got for us?
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, I got something. I wish I could trace it back to the sauce, but I can't. But since my segment has its own heading, I figure... It
does.
Yeah, I know it does, and that's
Touching thoughts, but totally.
Touching thoughts, and I don't mind sharing some touching thoughts, and I think by that virtue... I think I have some independence from that sauce. So I'm going to do exactly that. And I'm going to talk today about charity and charitable acts. And it's okay to be charitable. And if you're not in a position to be charitable, that is okay. Yes, certainly don't judge yourself like that. But it's important if you are charitable and you want to be charitable, do not be charitable under compulsion or under the idea of any reluctance. If you do find yourself, again, in a charitable situation and you like doing it, it's important to think of it as in you get the opportunity to be charitable. And, please, and don't think that I'm some saintly guy, because I'm certainly not. I certainly have room to grow. But I read that the other day, and I liked it. So I'm going to share it with everyone listening. And that's all for me. And, of course, we are so proud of you, and we love to have you here. Thank you so much for listening. And I'm going to pass it over to Adam.
People have told me before that sometimes I can be a little bit blunt, a little bit brutally honest. And if I had to summarize what Tori was going to say, I would just say, give us money.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Listen to the PayPal.
Yeah, I could take it back to the old jar rattling there.
Yeah,
but I didn't.
Jar. Send us some cash. We'll get that Patreon rolling out.
We need to get the Patreon up and running.
One of those days.
I have standards,
We'll get that rolling out. No, I know yours was not in reference to us. I know that was in reference to all the nice businessmen that call you from Africa at your work email and asking for gift cards. I know that's who's in reference to.
I love them guys. They actually called me for a car warranty the other day. I don't know if I told you this.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they called me for a car warranty, and I said, wow, I am so happy you called. You wouldn't believe it. I got a warranty from you guys last week, and I need you guys to make good on it. So send me that information for that warranty, because I need to make a claim against it. And, you could just hear the gears grinding in their head.
I got a better one for you.
Lay it on me. I love it.
Every time they call me, they say, the car warranty thing, and they say, what's the make and model that you have? I say, well, it's 1980 Pinto, and they usually just hang up on
That's my gag. I say a 74 Pinto.
No, I just make up a year, but hilarious.
That is my gag.
Click.
You don't want to guarantee a Pinto?
Yeah, come on, man.
It's been through 3 rear ends already.
Yeah, I think the last time I talked to them, they would said it has to be like a 2012 or older.
Oh, huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you want to get them to hang up real quick, something below that.
Yeah, right. Okay.
We could also go with the model of car that your wife came up with one time, Tori, the Plymouth Saturn.
Ooh.
If you remember that one.
Wow.
That was from a game we were playing, Codenames.
Oh, yeah.
The infamous Plymouth Saturn.
Yeah, the Plymouth Saturn.
It doesn't exist. That's
I was going to say.
Yeah, that's the gag. That women in car models. We're a podcast that respects women, though.
That's right. Very much
Redacting that last comment. No, well, of course, as always, I want to thank, again, Marv from Pods Like Us. Definitely go check his show out. Like I said, we have 2 episodes on there. If you want to hear a little bit more about us, a little bit behind the scenes, definitely check that out. I thought it came out really well. I was really happy with it. And Marv does He does a really good job of interviewing other podcasters. So if you're interested in podcasts and you want to kind of have like a rapid fire way to find new interesting ones, that's a great way to do it. And also want to, of course, extend a special thank you to Ryan for coming on and sharing all of your interesting stories with us and your insights on this sauce. And I definitely want you to plug your gym again for the listeners. And any other last closing thoughts you want to say?
I just want to thank you guys for having me. Tori spoke about this a long time ago, and it's been a while, so I was excited to come on. And yeah, if anybody's over in that north side area that's looking for a good place to work out and get in shape, Selly's Fitness on Spring Garden Avenue.
Heck yeah. I can tell you firsthand, it's a clean gym. I don't like dirty gyms. You run a clean outfit. Right. I can appreciate that.
I like a dirty gym.
Yeah, sweaty and nasty.
That's because I was raised on the high school football gyms, where staph infections ran rampant.
And Chew Spit River.
Yes, exactly. Ooh. So, there's not a towel or a disinfectant wipe to be found back in the good old pre-COVID days. Right. But cool. Well, I think that's going to do it for us this week. As always, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Oh no, it's the end of the show. Thank goodness there's several other episodes waiting just for you. Check out our Instagram. We like to have some fun over there. We post the sauce bottle pics if you're curious, and the occasional meme. That's going to be Sauce Spoken Official. Despite our humble nature, we are accepting donations, believe it or not. Look us up on PayPal. That's going to be @SauceSpoken. Hey, and if you like what you hear, grease those palms, babe. Lastly, roll up your sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty. It's saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have show notes and details. Check it out. Share us with a family member or a friend. If you're enjoying it, I'm certain they will too. Good night.